If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Monday, October 1st, 2012. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. In the Finis Monitor today, we have Jamie Patrick, who was just awarded the World Open Water Swimming Man of the Year Award. And Jamie joins us right now from Lafayette, California. Hi, Jamie. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you on. Congratulations on that, what is probably the biggest award in open water swimming.
Yeah, you know, it was quite an honor. You know, it's nice to have a lot of Facebook friends as it's a popular vote. But yeah, it was quite an honor. You know, this last weekend to be down at the Global Open Water Swim Conference and to meet such amazing people that I've read about throughout the years, and to receive the award was truly an honor.
Yeah, 2012 has been an amazing year for open water swimming. Not just Usmaluli winning the Olympics for his first open water gold medal, but Diana Nyad trying once again to swim from Cuba to Florida, and then you getting your hat in the ring with your Lake Tahoe 360, which we'll talk about in a second. I mean, what a great company this must feel like to be a part of.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't consider myself in Diana's and all those in their class, but I truly believe that the open water swimming world is growing so fast, and people are going further and farther, and it's you look at Trent's who just broke the English Channel record crossing, to Evan Morrison breaking the Santa Barbara Island record. It's truly amazing what people are doing these days. And I got to spend a good amount of time with Diana one-on-one, which was quite amazing listening to her. She is not only is she a truly amazing swimmer, but she's really a cool person as well.
Well, you have to be able to have the tenacity to want to make that swim 30 years apart.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get your thoughts, obviously you've been in this marathon open water swimming thing for a while, and so has Diana and all that, but why do you think it's been so popular these past few years? Is it because it's become an Olympic sport and it's getting this exposure worldwide?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think that I think as a society, people are looking for other avenues to test themselves. I think Olympics did play a big part in it. The coverage for the Olympics, especially on the swimming side, is truly remarkable. But I also feel like, I remember when I started doing Ironman triathlons, 20 years ago, it wasn't very popular. Now it's become, there's so many thousands of people doing Ironmans that people are looking for other things, and especially in California and in areas where people grew up swimming, they're kind of going back to their roots and testing themselves. It's really exciting. I mean, literally, every week during the summer months, there could be, 30 to 40 major marathon swims going on at a time, and it's really cool to see.
Well, speaking of testing oneself, you attempted a swim around the circumference of Lake Tahoe, which I understand was about 68 miles. You didn't get to complete it this year. How far did you make it?
I got about 30 miles in. We had to pull the plug in about 14 hours after the start of the swim. We had forecasted there to be some rough conditions for about 3 or 4 hours, but unfortunately the wind picked up on Lake Tahoe probably 2 hours after the start of my swim, and I thought. People don't think of Lake Tahoe as being rough, but we have, we had, between 5 and 7 foot swells that weren't consistent. We had 20 to 25 knot winds. I had my kayak supporters flipping over, and boats getting flooded, and crew getting sick, and it was time to pull the plug. I've been training and planning for it for a year, so it was a bummer to have to stop. But you got to be smart in these things, and it was the right decision. I was just getting going at 14 hours. I had a lot left in me, but I probably put in 20 hours of work in 14 hours, fighting the headwind and the swells and chop.
So since this was a Mother Nature thing that kept you from finishing and not a physical thing, is it safe to say that you're going to try this again sometime in the future?
Absolutely. I'm actually, I'm the kind of person that can't. I can't go down to the pool for to keep in shape. I've got to have something that I'm, visualizing and dreaming about while I'm swimming, and so. I'm going to attempt the Tahoe 360 again next summer, and I'm going to give myself more of a window to start the swim. So if we do have some stuff on the horizon, that I can postpone it a little bit. I'm definitely going to go back. The swim is probably a 36-hour to 40-hour swim in the right conditions, and I felt I was really ready for it. I'd done. My longest week was about 115,000 yards. I did 4 12-hour overnight swims where I start at 6 p.m. and swim through the night till 6 a.m. So I was ready for the swim. It was unfortunate that Mother Nature took over.
What is it like for you to train for these kind of things, especially knowing that you're doing all these yardage, and I would imagine you're doing them pretty much by yourself?
Yeah, it's interesting. I do a lot by myself. I do have a couple training partners, long distance marathon swimmers, and people that will come down and swim an hour or two with me, on a 5-hour swim. So I do have some, but a lot of it's on my own. To be honest with you, I couldn't do it without my Finney Swim P3, at least at the beginning of the season. I wean myself off it as I get closer to my swim, so I'm not relying on that extra stimulation. But I'm a big user of the Swim P3 because it's hard to follow that black line for an hour, but to follow it for 6 to 8 hours sometimes is quite boring.
Yeah, your mind probably turns to mush after about the 3rd hour if you don't have something stimulating you. Well, something I was looking at in your history of swimming, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you were talked earlier about Trent Grimsey swimming the English Channel. Have you ever done the English Channel?
I did the English Channel as a relay back in '96. I have not done the English Channel solo. I would like to go back sometime and do the channel. I did do one channel this summer, and it's kind of a training swim with a couple other marathon swimmers. We did the Strait of Gibraltar from Spain to Africa, which was amazing. But no, I have not done a solo crossing of the English Channel yet. Yeah,
there's nobody who's done the English Channel crossing 4 times. I think if you're looking for some extreme kind of swim, I think being the first person to cross it 4 times would be probably a good goal to have.
Yeah, it is. That would be a tough. The thing about that swim is that the tides and currents are to do a double cross, even a double crossing, is quite difficult, and just because of the tides and current and water temperature and sea conditions. But yeah, there's some greats. There's some greats that have come out of the English Channel, and I don't know if you saw the GPS path of Trent, but with his speed, it's pretty much a straight line across the channel. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's one of those swims you just like Lake Tahoe. You're at the mercy of the elements, and I think he just kind of had one of those perfect days.
Yeah, it's got to have a little luck on your side.
Well, one final question before we go. Like you said, you've been part of this kind of ultra marathon swimming thing for many years. What is the motivation every year, not only for the swims that you don't complete, but for the swims that you do complete? That's a question that's asked by almost everybody. Why do you do this?
I think there's a couple reasons. One, I do believe that it makes me a better person. Putting yourself in situations that are not comfortable, planning and doing things that at the beginning it doesn't seem possible, is why I do these things. I grow on every swim. You'll talk to every swimmer that if they don't swim during the morning workout, they don't function as well at work. I feel like doing these things, planning and preparing, and creating, and ultimately accomplishing them, makes me a better person in my everyday life. So, it scares my wife a little bit because, it has been, I've gone from doing regular triathlons to Ironmans to triple Ironmans to 10K swims to 40-mile swims to 60-mile swims to it's but I know what I can do. I just don't know what I can't do yet, and I'm not on a death wish, but I want to continue to push to see how far I can go, and it's not always about reaching the other side either. It's just like I learned more in my Tahoe swim of not finishing than I did on all my other swims when I finished.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what a lot of swimmers say, whether they're pool open water swimmers. They learn more from the failures than they do the successes.
That's right.
Well, Jamie, no matter what with the Tahoe 360 swim, you're definitely keeping the prospects of future open water swimmers alive, and congratulations on your award, and obviously a great honor for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we'll be talking to you down the road.
Thanks.
All right, so that's Jamie Patrick talking to us about his Open Water Swimmer of the Year award and his Lake Tahoe swim. And that's going to do it for today's morning swim show. Be sure to join us on Facebook and Twitter to join in the conversation. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.